do have time, let me take a look at this and see what the question was. Here is my one question. If I was decapitated and examined by doctors and pronounced completely dead, then later my head was reattached and I came back to life, would that demonstrate the supernatural? How would it demonstrate the supernatural? So if you were decapitated, examined by doctors, pronounced completely dead, and later your head was reattached and I came back to life, would that demonstrate the supernatural? Yes. Yes, it would. And if you say, no, it wouldn't, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not trying to be snarky. This is just one of those things where it's like, yes, of course it would. Yes, it would. Because if you are dead, head cut off, there is no life, it's gone, unless you accept naturalism, where our physical, material self is all there is, which is a bankrupt ideology, then yes, of course it's evidence for the supernatural. Of course it's evidence that something supernatural has taken place. Because it is not possible to happen naturally. It would have to be supernatural. I'm sorry, I got a little animated on that one because that kind of, what's really funny, I think part of the reason is because discussion I was listening to yesterday with Gary Habermas and Mike Licona, and he actually brought this example is something he brought up because people will say, you need extraordinary evidence. He said, no, regular evidence will do it. And the example he gave was, what if, he was in an auditorium full of people, someone came in, chopped his head off, and he died, right? And then, right, he comes back and oh, look, no, I'm okay, my head's on. See, there's the scar, but I'm all better now, right? Regular old testimony is all you need, right? No kind of special, amazing evidence, right? Regular old evidence is all you would need for that. And so I thought it was kind of funny that he was actually using the same kind of example as showing that, look, regular kind of testimony evidence can show you supernatural things. And then here you bring this question about, the exact same example. So yes, I actually do think that would be an example of the supernatural. I would actually find it very difficult if someone were to say, I don't accept that as supernatural. Okay, I don't know what to say to you, because it obviously is. So, yeah, okay. Since you're the only one commenting, I guess I'll let you have some monopoly on here. I think it's telling that you told us, this is the comment, you told us that if you come with the idea that the Bible could be fiction, then you can't evaluate it. That's not what I said. I said that you approach the Bible as historical documents because that's what they are. Doesn't mean they're true. Doesn't mean the things contained in them are right. It doesn't mean that, because there are documents we have in history where it's clearly made up, right? There are, what is it? When we were talking about Old Testament, there's an Assyrian inscription. The Assyrians were really, really bad about it, where they would actually have carvings on the wall and then, engrave the accomplishments of the king and just the wonderful battles he did where he went in and he slayed, hundreds of thousands of people. The city didn't even have hundreds of thousands of people. That's historical evidence. That is not accurate, right? And so that's possible, right? I'm not saying that just because it's something from history that you must accept it as true. No, you can come to it and say, is it really telling the truth? But by the canons of historicity, first off, the genre of the documents of the New Testament do not lend themselves to thinking that these are, just automatically fiction. Plus, the idea of fiction is hundreds of years later. People actually sitting down and going, I'm going to write a story about something that never actually happened and just make it up completely. Right? You might have polemics, right, where they, or a parable, right, where it's like a not quite true story, but it's telling something true. The idea of fiction, though, wasn't really a deal back then. So no, it's not that you have to assume they're true, but you have to come to it with an open mind that these are historical documents, right? These are actual documents produced in the first century legitimately, like you would any other piece of documentation, right? If you uncover the diary of Caesar whoever, right, that's a historical document. Doesn't mean everything he says in it is true, but it is a historical document. You are basically saying you must believe first and reason later. No, that is absolutely not what I said. Dude, come on, man. You don't need to be given all of that. I mean, that's just, you're putting words in my mouth. That is absolutely not what I said. Believe first, reason later. No. No, what I'm saying is don't come to with the position that it can't be true until you prove me otherwise. No, I mean, this kind of rabid skepticism that some people seem to have, you got to just shed that of your thinking. That right there is poison thinking. But no, you don't have to come to it already believing, but you do need to come to it with an open mind. If I tell you, I thought you just said one question, man. This is more than one question. If I tell you I own a car, that seems reasonable, doesn't it? Yeah, sure. Now, if I tell you I own a Ferrari, you would probably need more evidence to support that, wouldn't you? No, I don't know you. Maybe you have a Ferrari. Maybe you had a rich uncle. Maybe you had, I don't know, maybe you hit the lotto, bought a Ferrari. I mean, if you come to, hey man, I have a Ferrari. Okay. I don't have any reason to not believe you. And so especially if I'm having an open mind, because I've known some just crazy wealthy people. I've been around, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm buddy with some millionaires, but I mean, I've known some people that, can change the local economy with what they decide to invest in. I mean, but you wouldn't know it to look at them. I've known people that someone, like after years of knowing the person, someone goes, they're like a multimillionaire. I'm like, what? No way. I wouldn't have had a clue. So, you know what? If you say you have a Ferrari, good for you, man. Good for you. You don't convict, here we go. Another one. Let's see what we got. You don't convict someone of murder based on a traffic light camera. You do, however, give people tickets for running red lights. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Telling you, come on, dude, now you're just trolling. Mark is wrong. He's just telling us to stop thinking. No, I'm telling you to start thinking. To just completely remove just like the rabid skepticism that just eats away your ability to reason. That's not, so actually start thinking. That's really what here we go. Okay, last one, because we're almost out of time, but I'm having fun. This is great. Okay, I can refute this with one argument. All right. All we need to do is lower our standard of evidence until we accept this clearly flawed argument. Well, I don't really advocate lowering your standards. I'm saying raise your standards. How many times has Mark told us to stop thinking? 0. Told you to start thinking. Here is my one question. Okay, yeah, and then I answer you. There was more than one. Come on, man. Lines of sin. All right. There we go. Oh, thank you. Oh, dude, there's more. I'm sorry. I can't keep going. It's after time. Got to get home. Got to get kids to bed. Thank you for playing, though. You know what? I got these right here. On April 26th, okay, Blaster Master 80, on April 26th, we have our question and answer event where it will be me and 2 or 3 other guys who are trained, educated, ministers and scholars here to answer your questions. So go save some up, right? Can't do them all in one day. All right. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.